2 Tennessee lawmakers have been expelled from the state legislature over their actions during an anti-gun protest that took over the state capitol and disrupted the state Congress. The protest brought obvious comparisons to January 6th, but the left is saying there's no comparison, that the expulsion is based on racism, and that it's being used as political punishment for standing up for the people and not the mysterious so-called gun lobby. You're not gonna want to miss this one. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Saw some huge news as I was sitting down this morning with my cup of blackout coffee, which was perfect because this is a huge gun news story and they're huge supporters of the Second Amendment, gun rights groups, and channels like mine. To check out everything they have to offer and help support groups like Gun Owners of America and Firearms Policy Coalition directly while also getting a great cup of coffee, go to blackoutcoffee.com/LibertyDoll. So, in case you were down for the count with a stomach bug last week like I was and missed all of the fireworks, here's a little recap. Thousands of protesters, many of them students, showed up around the state capitol. They got there before 8 a.m. and confronted and yelled at lawmakers as they were going into work for the day. Some of the protesters actually went into the building and stood at the doors to the House and Senate all day, yelling and chanting and demanding an assault weapons ban. Lawmakers had to push through the crowds to enter the chambers or use the bathroom. Then, 3 lawmakers went to the front of the protest with bullhorns, led the crowd in chants, and then moved to the chamber floor, disrupting House business to also demand an assault weapons ban and try to force a vote. Some reports said that they told protesters to storm the room and take over the chamber too. The House came to a halt and had to be recessed. The left says there is absolutely no comparison to January 6th because the protesters were let in by security and no one was hurt or arrested and nothing was damaged. But remember when people did the same thing in Michigan during COVID and no one was hurt, the left flipped their lid for that too. They also say it's totally different, guys, because their intent wasn't to take over or storm the building. It was only to harass people and be obnoxious. And when 3 lawmakers told them to do it, they weren't successful. Also, it was because of evil gun violence and not our darling Joe Biden. Now, to be clear, I am all for people being able to enter their legislative places and make demands and be heard. But if you demand people be tried for treason and get locked up forever for doing it, and then turn around and do something similar, it's a pretty bad look. Also, one was over concerns of election integrity and making sure people's voices were heard. The other was to take away the rights of a good chunk of the population.
Potato, potato.
Third, let's be real. Demanding a pro-gun southern state ban guns and take them away from the people is about as tone-deaf as you can get. That brings us to Thursday, when a vote was held to expel the 3 lawmakers from Congress. Representatives Justin Jones and Justin Pearson were voted out. Boom, kicked out, voted off the island. Jones was voted out 75-25 and Pearson 69-26. Representative Gloria Johnson hung on by only 1 vote, 65-30. All 3, however, were removed from their committees. The expelled reps and the left in general are screaming racism and fascism because they happen to be black, while Gloria is white. However, it should also be noted they're 2 of the youngest and newest Congress members, and Johnson allegedly never held the bullhorn. The yelling and screaming and demanding and bullhorning was, allegedly, only Jones and Pearson. And only 4 people who voted against Pearson voted to keep Johnson. So even if you play the race card, doesn't mean you have a royal flush. Several Republicans argued in their resolutions that the leftist politicians broke decorum and engaged in disorderly behavior by leading the protest and encouraging protesters to storm the Capitol. The resolutions state that the trio did knowingly and intentionally bring disorder and dishonor to the House of Representatives through their individual and collective actions. And it is in the Tennessee Constitution that the House can set its own rules and expel members for breaking the rules and decorum. This was literally a vote to hold those members responsible for their actions. Something that admittedly doesn't happen with politicians very often. Pearson's actual defense, by the way, is that he didn't know the rules. He says that the resolutions against him assumed he knew the rules of his job and that he couldn't be held accountable because no one had given him the facts. Protesters again showed up during the vote and had to be removed from the building. The left is spinning it that the right is more focused. I'm sorry. Let me amend that. The left and Joe Biden, the President of the United States, is spinning it that the right is more focused on punishing political enemies, ironic, Mr. Biden, and destroying democracy than protecting children from violence. Again, ironic, Mr. Biden. Meanwhile, the right has introduced bills for school security, for example, which anti-gunners turned down because it doesn't include banning guns. So, let's protect our money and lawmakers and courthouses and celebrities and even mob bosses with guns, but let's leave our vulnerable children out as easy targets and then complain that the other side doesn't want to protect our kids. That is political theater in a nutshell. They're saying that expelling lawmakers is unprecedented, which also isn't true. It happened as recently in Tennessee as 2016 over alleged sexual misconduct. At any rate, it shows the legislators of Tennessee standing up for gun rights. It certainly sends a message. But that doesn't mean that Jones and Pearson are gone for good. There needs to be a vote on who will act in their place until a special election, and then who will run in that special election, both of which could see them picked as their own replacements. This could light a fire under voters' butts to vote them in again, and they can't be removed for the same thing twice. Will the people keep them voted out, or will they get back in and increase their theatrics? Time will tell, but I am certainly interested to see what happens. Things are definitely heating up in all kinds of new and fun and exciting ways. I don't know what this world is coming to, but I will take this one as a win. That is it for this one, guys. Please give a like, comment, and share. Subscribe if you are new here. Keep yourself stocked, cocked, and locked. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and happy shooting.